A hacker has forced Ohio to stop kicking workers off unemployment. Now, this is an incredible story, and it starts at the beginning of the month. This reporting from Cleveland.com. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services has set up a webpage and sent emails to employers Friday night, this is on May 1st, telling them to report workers who don't return so they can get reevaluated and potentially lose unemployment benefits. Monday is the first day non-essential offices, construction, manufacturing, and distribution operations can reopen. Since Friday, elective medical procedures that don't require an overnight stay have been allowed. Now, this push to go back to work is happening in Ohio despite the fact that there is still a lack of access to widespread testing, and also the fact that, based on polling, people in Ohio do not feel safe enough to go back to work. So this poll was done by Baldwin Wallace University. You can see here restaurants, all retail stores, hair and nail salons, and places of worship, that all people think that it is not yet the time to go back to work. Asked to choose which worries them more, 63% say they were worried the U.S. will move too quickly to loosen restrictions, allowing the virus to spread and result in more lives being lost, while 24% chose the country will take too long, resulting in greater economic and job losses. In an optional question, 70% said public health is more important than the economy, compared to 24% who said the economy is more important. 13% were unsure. So, because of these fears, these justifiable fears that if you go back to work too early, you may get the coronavirus, it may spread more, it may make the whole situation a lot worse, the Ohio Poverty Law Center wrote a letter to Governor Mike DeWine asking him to prioritize the health and safety of workers. And nothing really happened. So this brings us to the brilliant hacker. This from Vice. An anonymous hacker has released code that allowed anyone to automatically submit junk data to Ohio's controversial COVID-19 fraud website, which prompts employers to report workers who refuse to work during the deadly pandemic so they won't receive unemployment benefits. The script works by automatically generating fake information and entering it into the form. For example, the companies are taken from a list of the top 100 employers in the state of Ohio, including Wendy's, Macy's, and Kroger, and names and addresses are randomly created using freely available generators found online. Once all the data is entered, the script has to defeat a CAPTCHA-like anti-spam measure at the end of the form. Unlike regular CAPTCHAs, which display a grid of pictures and words the user must identify, the security tool used by the form is merely a question and answer field. By storing a list of common questions and their respective answers, the script can easily defeat the security measure by simply hitting the Switch Questions button until it finds a question it can answer. Now, this is so brilliant. The idea behind it is that it would overwhelm the system with so much fake information that it would essentially make it impossible to identify legitimate claims. Now, this was made even better by a software engineer. To make the code more accessible, software engineer David Ankin repackaged the script into a simple command line tool which allows users to run the script in the background of their computer, continuously submitting fake data to the Ohio website. Quote, if you get several hundred people to do this, it's pretty hard to keep your data clean unless you have data scientists on staff, Ankin told Motherboard. So, the result of all this? Ohio has stopped kicking workers off unemployment after a hacker targeted its website. The state is reconsidering its policy after a hacker released a script that automatically submits junk data to the COVID-19 fraud website, which allows employers to report workers who refuse to work during the pandemic. Absolutely brilliant.